Welcome to another episode of Scottish Football Matters with me, Murray, and my good friend Lorenzo.
How you doing?
This week we're going to obviously unravel the crazy Saturday night Scotland against Greece and Denmark Belarus, which sets us up for tomorrow night's massive winner takes all game at Hampden between Scotland and Denmark. So we'll review that, we'll preview the Denmark game, and then we'll touch on obviously the Celtic manager search, and obviously Martin O'Neill's going to continue with Sean Maloney for the weekend's game against St Mirren. Nothing further than that, but
Oh,
not more confirmed. Do you know what I mean? So we'll obviously touch on that and see where things are at. All right. So yeah, best place to start is Saturday night.
yeah.
Right. I
What
don't want to be
what can you
negative,
say?
right? But I don't want to be negative because. But I'm going to be negative, right, on the first half, right? I thought the first half was horrific, right? I
Oh,
thought
terrible,
Scotland
terrible.
couldn't string two passes together. I
I thought his team
thought,
selection was bad as well.
yes and no, but I felt individuals caused that because, you know, Suter and Hanley were terrible,
Oh,
whereas they have been
100%.
very good, but they have been very good leading up to that game.
I've never
Um,
fancied Hanley, but it's got Scotland ever. He's never
but let's be
impressed
honest,
me.
it was three individual errors that cost us the goal. Suter cost the
Yeah.
first goal, Hanley cost the second goal, and then Gordon cost the third goal. Even though he had a good game
Aye.
otherwise, Craig Gordon, but
Despite his
you
age, of
still you,
course.
you still need to stop shots like that for distance. But I just felt he got it all wrong. And I know we lost two of the goals in the second half, but the approach in the second half was so much better. Everyone was
Mhm.
just a yard quick. Everyone just looked like they weren't even trying in the first half. It was like everyone was like scared to make a pass, make a tackle. There was no press. I mean, at times I thought I was watching Rangers under Russell Martin. It was that bad in terms of the lack of press because it was just, and I actually felt bad for Che Adams
Aye.
because what can you do if
I
you've
know. I
not got
mean, he's up
anyone
there
backing you
himself,
up?
really. Hmm.
So, but in the second half, McGinn came into it, McTominay came into it, and let's be honest, Scotland could have got a draw, or could have won the game. They had. I mean, that save for the goalie for the McTominay one
I
was
know that was
outstanding.
just meant. That was a crazy save. Yep.
But I think on this sort of game tomorrow, he needs to go for it from the
Oh,
off.
he has to go. I mean, I'd play
Um,
Dykes up front. I really don't.
yeah,
I'd go with
we'll go
Dykes.
through individuals, but I felt like basically Scotland have got given a lifeline with what
Oh, we
happened
have,
in
and we need to
Denmark.
take it.
Uh,
Need to take it.
because Belarus are, I mean, they were better against Scotland in the last game, so you did think that, if Denmark had a really poor night,
Oh,
they could get
they
something, and that's what happened.
they gave us a scare. They gave us a scare at
Aye.
Hampden, didn't they? So,
So I think at the start of the group, right, we'd have taken it. We'd have
oh,
taken the opportunity. Home to
100%.
Denmark, win the game, you go to the World Cup. Um, so we need to take that chance. But I think on the game, I think he got some things wrong that he needs to rectify tomorrow.
Yep.
And to me, what he needs to rectify is I think he has to go 4-4-2, and if that means dropping Doak, then so be it.
It's
Even
just a
though I
pity.
thought, but let's be honest, I know he scored a good finish, right? But his end
Hmm.
product's honking,
Aye.
and I
It's just a
know
pity.
it's
It's a pity
exciting.
Gilmore's no there, eh? It's just a pity Billy Gilmore's no there.
Well, I think he's not trained again
Aye.
today, and but to me, this is what I would do tomorrow. I would go Gordon, Robertson, McKenna,
Hmm.
Suter, Hickey.
Right.
Then that midfield was terrible. The balance was all wrong.
Aye, it wasn't right. The midfield was rotten. Aye, the midfield was terrible. But you know
Right,
what I
I'd
would
go
do? I would play Christie in the position that he plays for his club.
sitting
That's
in midfield.
aye.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have. Do you know, and you might laugh at this, right? But I'd be tempted to go with a sort of box midfield. So like two sitting, two forward, but
Hmm.
quite narrow. So
Yep.
McGinn and McTominay going forward, and Christie, and I would drop Ferguson. And I know it might be controversial, but I would bring in either Kenny McLean or Connor Barron, just
Right.
because I think that defence needs a bit more protection than Lewis
So
Ferguson can give.
who you taking out of the midfield? Then you're taking Ferguson out of the midfield. No.
Ferguson out of the midfield and
All right.
bringing in either Christie or sorry, either bringing in either
Baron or
McLean or Barron. And I think I'd be tempted to go Barron just for pure energy Now, I don't think he's a brilliant footballer. I'm not even going to pretend that. But what I noticed in that first half is there was no energy. And we need to
No.
start and get the crowd involved tomorrow. So I think, yeah, I think I would go Barron,
Right.
Christie, sort of sitting, and then McGinn and McTominay further forward, then Dykes and Adams.
Or you'd go with the two of them. But
So I'd
will
go
he do that?
4-4-2.
When does he have? I know he has to do it. I mean,
He
for
did
me, he
in
has to.
Denmark, which is weird.
Right. Well,
Um,
well. Hopefully, he can do it tomorrow again. Then. Hopefully, we'll just
yeah,
need to.
I mean,
We'll need to,
how
need
would
to
you
wait.
go? Would you try anything different? I mean,
I would
would
go
you
with two
bring
up.
in like, would you bring in a Tierney to go to a back five to accommodate that? But then it would mean
Possibly, maybe.
dropping, but it would mean dropping. But I just don't think Christie's disciplined enough to do the holding midfield himself.
Mm, yeah.
Like if you had Christie, McGinn, McTominay, they're not gonna protect.
Hmm.
Whereas I think if Christie's there, he needs somebody like Barron who isn't going to cross the halfway line. He's
Yeah.
just going to run about and make sure that their better players don't get involved.
Hmm.
That's how I would go. But
I
you
would
know,
go with the two up front. Definitely. I
uh,
would maybe play Tierney, maybe bring him in. But as you say, you're going to have to go to a back five to accommodate that possibly. But um, as
unless
long
you
as we
brought him
could,
in at right back, but I just think it makes you unbalanced.
then that's him out of position, and I don't really like that.
Unless you went with a flat four, though, you could probably go Robertson left back, Tierney in front of him, or either vice versa.
Oh, I left
And go
wing
with
sort of
McGinn
thing.
on the right. So just go with a four, but then
Mhm.
it would mean dropping out either a McGinn or dropping McTominay because I don't think McTominay could do the two in midfield
As long
because
as he
he's
drops,
not
as long as
disciplined
he
enough.
drops Hanley. I mean, Hanley can't play tomorrow night. He cannot
No, it
play
has to be. And,
in that
and we
team.
actually looked decent when it was McKenna and Suter. Like I'm not saying Suter had a good game by any stretch of the
No,
imagination,
Suter wasn't.
but,
Suter was rotten as well. But
but when
yeah.
McKenna came on, I thought Suter's game improved like times 10.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's just having that natural balance of a left foot and a right foot.
And what is it with
And
Scotland, right? Um, Losing all these goals to wake them up to then start to score
I know.
goals. I mean, could they not have done that for the off? I mean, what is it? What's that all about?
I don't know.
It's
The,
not the
the
first time they've
attitude
done
was
that.
just all wrong, though. It was just everything just looked flat, didn't it? I mean,
Aye.
yeah, I was watching in the house and just going, "Come on, just
See, when we lost the first goal, I
get
was like,
going."
oh, here we go. And then we lost the second one, and I went, oh, that's it then. That's it, done.
I know,
Because
but
I
somehow the
thought,
third. But then we actually played. We were playing quite well when we lost the second.
mhm.
I thought we
And I
started the
think
second half really
we
well.
were getting, I'm pretty sure we were getting beat 3-0 at one point, and Denmark were
Uh,
winning 1-0. So it was like looking as
I
if
know it
Denmark were
looked
going to
over,
automatically
and the
qualify.
next thing you know,
It's
it's
2-1 to
2-1 to
Belarus.
Belarus. Scotland are
Uh,
at 3-2, and you're like, "Whoa, whoa!"
I know, and we could get. I thought at that point we were. I mean, there was still a good 20 minutes to go, and I thought there's a chance we could
And
maybe
then
get a
the
point
red
here.
card as well. You thought we could have taken advantage,
Aye, but we didn't. I thought they'd have pressed home the
but you
advantage
know
with
what?
that.
No matter what, Saturday's gone now. We need to
I know.
just focus on Denmark and think they're a good team, but I don't think they're a great team. I said
Well, they've
this at the
got
start of the group. I
they've
thought
got a
this was
bug
a
going through the team at the minute. Apparently, they've
yeah,
got
but I just
sickness bug.
felt that this was a group of good teams, not great teams. Like I don't think that Greece have proven they're not a great team. They've got great individuals.
Denmark used to be.
As
They're
a
not as good
team,
as they used to be.
no, they're kind of at that point where they've
You mean
got a
what
lot of
a
older players and
transitional
they've got
period?
a few younger players who aren't quite ready. So it's like
Hmm.
they've just got a real imbalance. But I think in 3 or 4 years, the likes of, O'Reilly, who used to be at Celtic, I think he'll
Really? Aye.
push through with them. But right now, they kind of still rely on the older heads.
I
And
wonder if he'll be playing tomorrow night, really.
I think he's in the squad, but I don't think he starts. Do you know what I mean? I think he's more of a.
Well, he's used to Hampden though, so it's,
They could do. I mean, it
that's.
depends how bad the bug is. It
Aye, I
could
know.
could be lots of changes.
I
There
know.
could be
But
no
he
changes.
does.
It could be all
I mean, I
right.
know that football part's a football part, but I suppose he does know Hampden, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
sometimes it's good to have that familiarity, but no, I think. I mean, I don't want to go like a negative prediction, but I just I think we can win, but I fear that it's just going to be a draw, and it's
Too
just
much.
going to be
It's going
one
to
of
be too
those like
much.
it's just going to be one of those nights where like we hit the post, we miss big chances, and it's like. And I've got to say, I thought Adams' finishing the other night was terrible. Like I would be tempted to put Shankland
Oh,
on
aye,
Dykes
Shankland, I know. Aye, Shankland deserves a chance.
because
If because when was the last time Adam scored? Did he score in the
Because
last
look at that.
international
He
break?
scored. He scored against Belarus,
Ah,
who are
well,
terrible, right?
I could score against Belarus. Let's be honest.
But let's be honest, though. Look at that one that Christie went through on goal, and his touch was pish, right? But he still laid it on a plate for Adams, right? And a good
Aye,
striker just picks his spot, and he just tried to hit the target.
And I'm not
Whereas a
saying,
minute later,
aye,
Karisteas just bends it into
I'm
the
not
bottom
saying,
corner with quality.
I'm not saying Shanklin's like the greatest striker in the world, but surely he
He'd
would have scored
finished
that.
with that.
Or
Aye.
even Dykes for me to put it away.
Aye, I mean Dykes is more of an instinctive finisher, isn't he?
Adams
But I think
annoys
we
me.
need that.
I
But
like Adams, but he annoys me.
yeah, I think he's a frustrating player, but he is a good player, and
I
he's
know, but he
somebody that I
keeps getting
think
a
that
game, and he's no
but
like taking the
he's the
chances that
only,
he should be.
I think he's the best option when you play on your own
Uh,
because his hold up plays decent. I mean, there was a few times at the start of the second half he was taking it in really well and like spraying it out to Doak, and well, that's another one. Do you keep with Ben Gannon Doak because there was moments that he was good, and then there was moments that his end product was just horrible.
mm, yeah, I don't
But
know. It's
I'd like him to be an impact sub because let's be honest, you could need a spark for the bench, so I'd rather hold him back for that
aye.
because to have like on the bench if it's my team, if we do go with Adam and Dykes, you've still got Shankland, Hurst, Ben, Gannon, Doak. You've got Lewis Ferguson who could come on in a more attacking role because I just
Mm-hmm.
don't think he's a sitting midfielder.
Hurst's a striker,
That's
isn't
the
he?
biggest
Hurst's a striker.
Hurst and
But has
I
he
just
actually
think
scored a goal
that
for Scotland yet? I don't think he has he?
no, but I don't think I don't think he's had a lot of
He's
chances
not
in
really
his
had a
defence
chance.
now.
No, no.
So I think that's how I would go, and I just hope we do it. I really do. I
So
mean,
they
it'd
are.
be a great
That'd be
be a
brilliant.
great moment, wouldn't it, to just know we're in the World Cup, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But if we
Fingers and toes and everything crossed.
move on to Celtic, and obviously Martin O'Neill's confirmed, obviously, to continue on a
Mm-hmm.
day by day basis, as it seems.
Looks like it. Aye.
Um, but it is looking increasingly likely that it's going to be, can I say it, brother Wilfried Nancy.
Aye. Well,
But
I seen a
he
thing.
seems
I
to.
seen a thing just before I came on, Murray, that apparently
Mhm.
some guy. This was a comment I read. Some guy has heard that he's going to be announced on Thursday. Don't know.
It could well be, but obviously that's too soon to, take charge of the game against St
It will
Mirren.
be,
So,
but then what I would like to think that he would be at the game on Saturday night, even
I mean,
sitting
he
in the
could
crowd. Look,
be.
they do that sometimes with the manager to see them sitting in the crowd
Well,
because he is going to
I,
take
rem-
over, and then
I remember Van Bronckhorst did that, and I know we got absolutely pumped by Hibs in a game, but he took over on the Monday, and he was at Hampden on the Saturday, and he watched it for the
Mhm.
crowd.
Aye.
And I think you could see something similar because obviously you've got your
But you didn't have
AGM,
an
haven't you?
interim. Aye, we get an AGM on
Aye, we
Friday.
did. We had an interim, but it
You
was
sure?
a youth coach at that point. Aye, because Gerard had
Oh wait
left
a minute.
and he took all his staff with him, and then
Aye.
we brought up like
Do you know what it
McCallum, I
was?
think it was the
Do you know
boy
what
for
I'm
the.
thinking of?
He was a women's manager actually.
Hmm. Do you know what I'm
Mhm.
thinking of? I'm thinking of when Van Bronckhorst was at the club. He wasn't an interim manager. He was a manager, and Bill was
No,
sitting
he
in the
was.
crowd.
Aye, that was when Beale
That's what
was
it
just.
was.
That was aye.
Aye.
No, but it
Aye.
was when Van Bronckhorst had just because he'd only flown into the country on the Friday and
Hmm.
got announced, so he officially took over on the Monday. But the
Yep.
kind of youth coach and women's coach at the time took over, and I
Hmm.
think we were terrible. And Martin Boyle got a hat trick if I remember badly.
It
Uh,
wouldn't be a bad idea though, Murray, for to have him if
but
it
you
did
could
get
also
announced, say
have him.
Wednesday, Thursday, have him in
You could
sitting
have
in
him
the
at the
stand.
AGM as well,
Watch.
because you
Aye.
could do the. Because let's be honest, if you've got the AGM right, all the big wigs that do the announcing and managers are going to be there.
Mhm.
So you could do your press conference on the Friday or the
Aye.
Thursday,
Hmm.
and then you can do AGM, and
On the
then
Friday.
let him take in the game at the weekend, and
Aye.
then start his role on Monday, and then prepare
But
for Feyenoord.
but then
I think it is
that
Feyenoord, yeah.
what I it will be. That's what's annoying me. He's going to be thrust straight in if it happens. He gets unveiled. He's going to be
No matter
thrust
when he
straight
gets,
into
no matter
final
when he
a,
gets
a big
announced now,
European
though,
game. No,
is it a big European game though now? Because is it not a bit like Danny
no, not
Rule?
really,
It's
not
done.
really.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd say it's done.
He got Brand to kind of look
But
at
you
the
still
team
at the
and
same
go,
time, you don't want pumped. Do you know what I mean? You don't
I
want to
know,
get
but it
pumped.
happened. It happened with Danny Rowe as well. I think he
I
looked at it
know.
and went, "Oh, this team's heavy shite." So I need to work on something. And he got a few days though to go and work on it before we played Kilmarnock, and he would have that because your next game after Feyenoord's away to Hibs, and
Aye, it's the following Sunday, isn't it?
that's a tough one. Um,
I know.
so it's but maybe you would probably rather Martin O'Neill was in charge for those three games just because they are so tough, and you'd rather that. But then you
Maybe.
don't
Aye.
want to keep prolonging it
I know.
because
The longer it goes on, the harder it'll get to even get the guy in, or if it's going to be him or
Yeah.
anybody, really.
But it certainly is looking like it's going to be him. And I mean, as I said, I said in the last one, I can't talk much about a manager that I haven't seen his team play much, but I have looked at wee bits, wee snippets, and the team look like they play fast, attractive
Hmm.
football. But what I will say is the MLS is not the greatest standard. Not near as Scottish football,
It
to be
might not
fair.
be the greatest standard, but apparently, according to the Opta thing,
I
it's
don't.
further up than us in the rankings. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know
not
how.
listening to Jamie O'Hara or any
I
of that
know,
nonsense about
I
Opta
know,
rankings.
I know. But
But it's not a good league. Obviously you see some players go there, and even Chris Boyd touched on it, and he said that when he was at Portland, and I know times have changed with a few more stars like Messi going over there
Messi,
since
aye.
then, but
Hmm.
he said it is a bit of a retirement home,
I've always thought that about it.
and it's where people go just to live a good life.
Aye.
And even Scott Arfield did it. He went to Canada, didn't he? And he came back to Falkirk because he just
I
didn't
know.
like it.
Well,
He
there
was
you
at
go.
when he was at Charlotte, wasn't he?
Aye.
And because that's where Leila Bad is,
Is that
and he
right? Aye.
enjoyed it there. He enjoyed it there, but he was just like, I
I
miss
forgot
home.
where
I
Abada
miss.
went. Forgot where he went.
Uh,
I went to
but
America.
so I just don't think it's a fantastic standard. But at the same time, everyone deserves a chance, and he
I
might
know.
be a great manager.
But
But
our league isn't a great standard either, Murray. I mean, let's
no,
be
it
honest
isn't.
about it.
But you can lose games in MLS, and it doesn't matter.
Aye, I
You
know. You
can't
can't
lose games
lose
at Celtic.
Celtic or Rangers.
Every draws matter.
I
Draws, and
know.
it's like the end of the world.
I know. A draw to
You
me
need
is
to.
like a defeat when it
You need
happens.
to. I think there's different types of draws. I'll always take a draw away to Celtic, or you'd maybe take one at Ibrox.
Oh, of course, aye.
Aye,
See
and
if
you'll
see if
take
it's a
the
game
odd.
that looks as if you're not going to win it, then I would take a draw
Aye,
definitely.
or a
But
last minute equaliser. You'll take
aye,
a draw.
something like that. Of
Aye,
course,
but
aye.
I think that Celtic might need to be. It's a difficult time because Hearts are obviously very settled, right? They've got a manager who knows the league.
Mm-hmm.
And now Rangers and Celtic are going to be bringing in managers who obviously don't particularly know the league and certainly don't know the craziness of December.
And we'll see what happens in January as well with the transfer
But
window.
it
I
is
mean, I've
mental to
obviously,
think that.
I've,
Oh,
on you
sorry.
go,
What
on you
No,
go.
I was going to say it's mental that you could get a manager in who takes over a cup final. I don't
I
think
know
I've
it's
ever
crazy.
seen that.
That is a bit meant. No, no, it's happened to
He's
Rangers. Did that not happen to Rangers? Did Michael Beale not get you to a cup final and Philip Clement took her when he was in the final or something like that?
no, he
Are you
definitely took
sure?
Clement took the semi. Clement took the
All
semi.
right, I thought it was the final. Right, fair enough.
Yeah, it
Right,
was the semi final. So Clement came in and we beat Motherwell. I'm pretty sure, and it
he's
was
won that
really
cup as well. I'm pretty sure he's won
scrappy.
that cup, didn't
Aye.
you?
No, no,
Aye,
we beat Hearts. Sorry, we beat Hearts. That one. It was the semis, and then the
aye,
final we went on to beat Aberdeen.
right,
But it was
aye,
Clement in the semi. But
right. I thought it was the final, but it's going to be weird. January coming up because I've heard
massive.
rumours already about what's his name? Oh, he's got three names and he's got a mad hairdo and he plays for Columbus Crew and he's a striker. He's only
All
23.
right.
Is it Jason something? Jason
Oh,
something Rowe? Jason, and his last name's Rowe. It's like a double
right.
barrel last name he's got,
Well, do you
like
know
Carter
what?
Vickers.
I think it's a market that I don't think Scottish football has tapped into because while it is a retirement home, it's also
No, you've got
where
talent. It's
good
young
good
talent
young
there.
Americans and good
Aye,
young South
but
Americans go
Can
because it's not too
Canadian.
far.
Well, this boy's actually a Canadian.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, Alistair Johnson came from over there. I mean, and let's be honest, that Canada team are decent. Like, do you know
Aye.
what I mean? It's not
Mhm.
just him and Jonathan David. There's good players all over the
Aye.
team,
Aye.
and some of them just need a chance to.
And
And
I don't really know how good the Cornelius boy is. I've not really seen much of him, so I can't comment on
I
that.
think he's decent. I think he's decent. I don't think he's like he's not a world beater, but I don't think he's certainly
Mm.
not. He's a solid seven, but sometimes you need that. You need somebody
Aye.
that's not going to dip for what Suter dips for 10-2. Like,
Hmm.
do you know what I mean? He just goes. There's no in between with him. But then
I,
Cornelius is a guaranteed kind of seven, and
I've
I think
watched
every team needs that.
last night. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, like interviews with him. Was this English guy interviewing Nancy or Nancy? I gave me
Yeah.
the correct pronunciation. Um, and he was just talking about the style that he likes to play and the formations that he likes to play and stuff like that, and basically talking about his life, how he got to America and all that kind of stuff. And it's quite. I mean, he played 10 years. He played football. I don't think he got an injury or anything. I think he just for an early age playing football, he always wanted to be a coach or a manager. So
Yeah,
he sort of started working on that while he was playing, and he obviously chucked it after 10 years. That
happens to it,
management.
and it's just, I think the what I would say is the pros of him are that he doesn't have any negative damage. Do you know what I mean? He's not a serial loser. Like
No,
sometimes you get
well,
these
he's won a few
managers
cups, I suppose.
who have been relegated and
Hmm.
this, and they're coming here with a lot of baggage. I think that was the thing that I remember when Rangers appointed Gerrard. That's what they said, was that they wanted a manager who didn't have managerial baggage. So they
Hmm.
weren't coming here with negativity. They were
Aye.
coming here with a positive mindset, and I think that is a good thing. And obviously Rangers have went down that route now. Obviously they didn't. They went with somebody like Russell Martin, who you could see brought a relegation team up with. Do you know what I mean? That was how he approached it in a way that he was playing, survival football.
Aye. But even
But
The
that's not what
Americans
you
did
do here.
say, the Americans did say that they didn't know that you had to win every game. They did come out and say that. They admitted that.
I know, but they got it wrong, and they know now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But then I don't mind people make mistakes. I actually seen. I know it's going off topic, but I
But you
listened.
should.
So
Sorry to interrupt. You should do your research before you take a club over. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I also think you're allowed to make mistakes
Of
and learn
course.
from them. But I did
But,
notice that I listened
but
to Kevin Felwell. He had
mhm.
this interview because, our director of football actually speaks to the media, unlike everyone at Celtic. Not
Yeah.
a jibe, but it is true. Um, it's absolutely true. I mean, every transfer window, every international break, he's come out and
Hmm.
let's be honest, he's not a popular bloke. He could hide, and
Aye.
he isn't hiding, and I like that. And he came out and he said a few interesting things, and it sounds like he is a man who understands that he's made a great deal of mistakes in the
Mistakes.
transfer market, because he's saying that, well, he didn't say he underestimated it. What he said was that we don't have enough local players. We don't have enough players that will run through a wall
Hmm.
for the badge. We don't have enough youth players coming through. And I think he's noticed that. He says so. He says because he said how he's doing with the transfer window, and he says, well, we need to look at what we've got in house before we start going. Do we have a better 16, 17-year-old who can be better next
Uh-huh.
year than going out and signing someone?
Hmm.
And he seems to. I'm not going to say it like he's learned his lesson yet, but he's saying the right things to suggest that possibly he has, because it seemed like he was sort of saying that players like Joe Rothwell was the wrong way to go, and maybe they should have been looking at a Josh Mulligan, right? Because
Hmm.
that's a fair comparison.
A guy for a
Did
Scottish
we
club.
need a Did we need a 30-year-old Englishman who's a bit of a journeyman, talented player? Or
Hmm.
did we need a player who's 23, 24, who was going to just run and play in a multitude of positions and give everything for the club? And I'm hoping that January is a notoriously difficult window, but I'm
Hmm.
hoping that you'll see Rangers get some leaders and some Scottish players. And I
And
don't
well,
necessarily, it doesn't need to be Scottish, but Scottish based players. Like, honestly, right now, right, I'd take Alex Gogic for
fair
St. Mum,
enough. Huh?
right? I don't think he's a great player, right? But I think he's a guy that will just heed the ball.
Hmm.
And sometimes when you're in a game,
He's a no
like
nonsense type player, isn't he?
like when you go to Kilmarnock away and your pretty football doesn't always work, sometimes you need to just heed the ball away or win for a set piece. Rangers are one of the worst teams in the world from set pieces. We really are,
Mm.
which is why we're getting
Well,
our set piece goals.
I was that's
Aye,
that was a good wee segue to bring that in.
aye.
Apparently, I heard tonight. I was listening to
Somebody for Lincoln,
Super. I was like listening
yeah.
to Super Scoreboard, and there was a guy
Yeah.
phoned up about it, and he said he was absolutely raging that they've brought this guy in. I didn't quite catch the whole of the conversation that he was
Well,
having,
I can't understand why anyone
but
would be raging. This is
have you heard that
I've done a little
that
bit of research on the
he
guy,
didn't really?
but
Apparently, this guy didn't want him. I don't know. He's disgusted with this appointment. I don't know what
well,
it is.
all I know is that he has been at Lincoln for a few years,
Right,
and last 2 seasons they've scored 30 goals from set pieces.
right.
I mean,
Does
that is out of
that's
something
not
like
is that a bad thing?
180. No, I think that's good. It's very, very good.
Well, I was
So
still going to say that.
that's a. I
So
mean,
why
you're
is he?
talking about.
I don't know
I
why.
think that's great. I think some people are snobbish and go, "Oh, Lincoln." Like, it doesn't
Maybe
matter.
that's what it is. Maybe that's
Aye.
what it is. I never actually caught the whole comment because I think I was
But
doing
I
something else
looked
at the
at it
time.
and I was like, that's impressive. Like, that's, I
Hmm
mean, if Rangers can
What's
get
the guy's name? What's his name? Do you know?
somebody Fry or
Fry,
something,
right.
Ian Fry, something like that, somebody
Hmm.
Fry.
Right.
And to me, it's a position that I'm glad that Danny Rose came in and went, well, do you know what? That's not my expertise. I'm going to go get somebody in who is an expert in that.
I don't think we've got a set piece coach, have we? I don't know if we have.
I don't know, but I think
No.
it's a. I mean, look at Austin McPhee. Is he know like with Portugal and
That's
the
right. I
other
saw him.
big
I
teams?
saw him the other night. Aye.
So and he's at another big team as well, like club wise,
Was that
not
right?
just Portugal. So
How does
do you
he
know
seems
what?
to get the jobs, doesn't he?
Well, maybe he's good at being a set piece coach. I mean, that's what he's
Well,
there for. So
aye. Maybe
I
Celtic
don't
should go
mind.
for him.
I think it's a good move. We
We're
still
not
need
very
to
good at set
obviously,
pieces either. Celtic.
yeah, yeah. You haven't been the best at
We're not great at
the
defending them either.
defending
Times.
them. I'd say is your bigger problem
Aye.
than
But we
scoring because
can't really take
uh,
decent corners. We've got
I
Arnie
know.
Engels taking corners and he takes one decent corner out of 10 or something like that. He can't
But
really take them.
I think it'll be interesting. That's all I'll say is
Aye.
that
I'm just hoping
Rangers
that
do need to make the right decisions in the recruitment market and in the transfer market. But
we need players
if
in
we can,
January desperately. We
because
definitely need
let's
them.
be honest, like Rangers are a team that because we're not great, you're gonna need to win
Mm.
tough games like away to Heart. I mean, when we go to Hearts, right? I want a set piece coach in for that game because they're good at set pieces. So
Yeah.
you need to learn how to defend them and quickly because you've seen them against Celtic because they bullied you
Aye.
at times for the set piece. So yeah, I think it's a good appointment in terms of, and also I think it's a good appointment that it's no one of Fairwell's mates because
Well, aye.
that's been the criticism is that we've not looked out there.
Mm-hmm.
We've not sort of went, well, who's the best person for the job, not who's the guy you know.
We'll see
So
how it goes then. We can just see
uh,
how it goes. And
yeah,
if
but
you start doing well at set pieces, then we know it's working.
exactly.
Yesterday I watched the Ireland game and I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was
What a
brilliant,
turnaround.
brilliant. Wow, brilliant.
And what a good indication that you need to give a manager time because there was people writing him off after four
Heimer,
games of this group or three
Heimer
games.
Haralgesson or something. His name or something
He's
like that. Isn't it?
Icelandic, isn't
Aye,
he? Icelandic, aye. But
yep,
they were writing him off because they lost a couple of games. But
aye.
who the hell would have thought that Republic of Ireland would beat Portugal and Hungary
Portugal.
in two
I
games
know
in a row?
exactly.
After and that's in this group they lost to Armenia.
I
I
know.
mean, they could have topped the group if they hadn't buggered it up in Armenia.
At the
In
beginning.
Armenia,
Yep,
we lost 9-1 yesterday to
I
Portugal.
know exactly. Armenia for me are not that good. Armenia for
They're
me are like
terrible.
Belarus.
It's going to touch on the Reno Gattuso's comments, which I'm going to say that he was talking
They
about
get,
how unfair the qualifying system is. So this is my point because I'm going to say Northern Ireland, right? They're going to finish third in their group, right?
hmm
And they're in the playoffs, right? Because
How's
of
that
the
work?
Nations League. Because
Oh, was it this
because
backdoor thing?
the teams above them have finished better in the Nations League, so they are already in that playoff.
Oh, you mean
So
they're
Northern
finished off?
Ireland,
Oh, aye, right.
so because they're already qualifying, right? So
So they're
Germany and
like the
Slovakia,
third
yeah.
best placed finishers or
Well,
something. Is that the rate
I
of
think
something?
they're just lucky that the two
Stupid.
teams that have finished above them have already guaranteed either qualification or a playoff place. So it
Me
goes to the
personally,
next available team.
I think the qualifiers, the top two should automatically qualify.
And Gattuso made that point that they, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, there's no excuse for losing 4-1
They shouldn't
against
have lost
Norway,
4-1
right?
to Norway. No
But
chance.
they have won 6 out of their 8 games, right?
Right, right.
And they haven't qualified because obviously Norway have been brilliant and won 8 out of 8. So fair enough, right? On Norway's point,
Well, that's
but
also
he's
luck
saying
for
that there's
Norway. I think that's luck on Norway's side as well, really. I don't think
not
they
really,
would have been
not really.
brilliant in every game.
I think it was an easy-ish group apart from Italy.
I would say that,
So
but
I
they
mean,
beat Italy 4-1. I mean, I don't know what's
I know,
happened there.
but I think there's just cannon fodder in that group that have given them confidence. I mean, did Asgard no get a hat trick against somebody and Haaland get 4 against like Moldova or something? So,
Something like that.
but let's be honest, it's not a strong
No.
group. But my point is though that he was talking about the whole qualification process as a whole.
hmm
That
hmm
you know, there's 48 places in this World Cup, right? 3 of them are already taken up by the hosts because somehow we've got 3 hosts in this
Three?
next one,
Oh, wait a
right?
minute. Canada, America,
Mexico.
Well, Mexico as well.
No,
I thought it
you
was
can
just
get a game
Canada and
in Mexico.
America.
I can get a game in Mexico. Who doesn't want to go to Tijuana and then up to the up to Canada for your
I
game
just thought it
two?
was
I mean,
Canada. I just thought it was Canada and America. I didn't realise Mexico were
no, Mexico.
hosting it as
So
well.
so I think there's 42 places or whatever available, right?
Hmm.
But he did. Like, I know it sounds like sour grapes because his team get beat, but he made a good point that like there's not enough. It's too hard to qualify from Europe because there's 54 nations
Hmm.
fighting for something like
I would agree.
16 or 18 places,
I
right?
would I would agree. Aye.
And in
Because
South
I think we've
America,
been good. We've been good.
uh,
Scotland have been really good, and look at us. We're having to maybe possibly settle for a playoff.
but see in South America, there's 10 teams, right, that compete. Right? How many do you think qualify?
Out of 10.
Uh-huh. There was only 10 countries in South America, right?
Right. So that's that like the CONCACAF thing, isn't it?
No, just South America. So like Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Colombia, Peru,
How many qualify
Bolivia.
out of that? 3?
6.
6?
And the seventh gets a playoff against an oceanic team or something.
Oh, no, no way.
So it goes as far down as
So
Bolivia.
it is, well,
So I can see his point from
But
that
Europe's
regard.
bigger. Europe's larger than South America is. Think about it.
But why doesn't South America combine with North America? So you've
Aye, I
got like
know.
the
Aye.
well, you've got on Central America. So you've got like the
Other,
Jamaicas,
well, you
the
could have. Aye,
Mexico. Well,
you've got Mexico. Aye, basically
but in a
all the
normal,
ones for
so
that side of
forget
the
forget
Atlantic.
that they three are qualified, but you could have in that section America, US, America, Canada, um,
Mexico,
Mexico, and then you could have your
Ch- Ch-
Jamaicas, your
Chile,
all these wee
Paraguay,
islands, all the wee islands that like
hmm
Bermuda, all
El
of that. You know
Salvador.
what I mean? Yeah, but you need and then you go down to obviously your Cuba, even I suppose,
Mhm.
and
Well, there you go,
then
Cuba
you
and El Salvador. You wouldn't see them. They'll never qualify for a World Cup, ever.
Cuba got there, didn't they? Was it the other
Who
year?
did? Who?
Cuba, was Cuba no there the other year?
Cuba?
Who
No,
was
I don't
this?
think Cuba.
Who was the? Remember there was an Arsenal striker that played for them.
I don't remember
Am I
Cuba
getting this
qualifying for
wrong?
a World
Give me
Cup.
2 seconds.
No, they didn't qualify for a World Cup.
Who am I thinking of then? It's like Cuba though.
It's
It
definitely
was
not
an,
Cuba. I don't. You might be right on it's somebody like Cuba, but it certainly wasn't. I don't remember Cuba being in a World Cup.
oh, even remember Trinidad and Tobago. That's another
Aye,
one
well, I
because
know
obviously they made it, didn't they?
Trinidad and Tobago they get
But
in, but is Trinidad and Tobago not an African nation though?
no, Trinidad's down by Jamaica.
Right.
Sure, let me just double check.
But then did they not play in the African Nations Cup? No,
No,
I thought they did.
no, they definitely come from over by Jamaica. It's just a wee island by Bahamas and that. But
Barbados.
it's not Cuba. It's not Cuba. It's somebody
Ah,
around
it's
there
not
though.
Cuba.
Who the hell is that
Togo?
Arsenal striker?
Wasn't he
No,
Togo?
it's
They're African, aren't they?
no, it's definitely from like that area.
Venezuela?
Oh
No,
god,
it wasn't
no,
Venezuela either, was
it's
it? No. It's annoying me now. You've got me annoyed because I'm trying to think who it is as well.
but it'll come to me. Yeah, it'll probably come to me. I'm in my bed or something going.
Aye.
Fucking hell's that? But no, I mean obviously we'll come back on Friday and we can discuss the Scotland hopefully qualification, or
Hmm.
we can discuss the playoff draw because I think that's Thursday.
Yep.
And we can then obviously preview next weekend's games where
Hmm.
I think we've obviously touched on St Mirren play Celtic. I think
Yep.
Rangers are at home to Livingston.
I'll
I'm
be at the
sure Hearts
AG.
have got
I'll
Aberdeen.
I'll be at the AGM on Friday as well. So
You calling for some heads, are you?
see how that goes. Well, no, we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting. That's all I'm going to say.
You got your shark ready? Shark and your pitchfork.
Aye.
No, I'm only joking. Do you know what? I think Celtic fans are right with a lot of this stuff. And I'm glad that they're doing it at times. You wouldn't want to see them doing it on the back of failure. I'm glad
No.
that they're doing it on the back of success because it can look like sour grapes, can't it?
Aye, well, I'm glad
Like
they
that
didn't.
you're
They've not
mourning
left it too
stuff.
late. I mean, if they did sack him, obviously
Mhm.
it looks as if he resigned. But I'm glad that happened when it did, other than it dragging on and dragging on into the new year.
No, but aye, we'll reconvene on Friday. We'll chat about the weekend's game, and hopefully we can be in a very good mood about the Scotland stuff.
We'll see what happens
And
tomorrow. Eh?
enjoy your AGM and your pitchfork and
Right,
shark.
I'll try my best.
Right, cool.
Right,
Right,
right.
cheers.
Right,
Bye
cheerio.
bye.
Bye bye.